Okay, everybody. Well, hello again. Yes, I'm back. It's been a long time since I made a video. It's got to be 3 months or so. No, I haven't given up. I haven't been ill or anything like that. I haven't disappeared to another planet. I just kind of I had one of those because, like most hobbies, I think the times that there becomes a time when you kind of put it on the back burner for a while. You know, you get a bit bored of it, or you need a break from it, and I think that's what happened with me. After I did the last video, I just kind of, I think it was such a come down after being in Botswana and using the cameras every day, and then coming back here and then just not having the same level of subject to take photographs of, and it just seemed to drop off, and I kind of got a bit bored of photography. So, you know, but like these things, they don't last. It never lasts. The interest is always going to be there. It's just a case of it, you know, maybe just need a break from it and do other things for a little while. So, but the interest is back. You know, the interest has come back because I've had a couple of more acquisitions, a couple of changes. I think in the last video I'd gone back to the DSLRs, which you can see I've still got. So I wanted to discuss about that. Are DSLRs still worth having in 2024? Because they are obviously getting older, they're not being produced anymore, they're getting older, and the newer stuff is coming out, and so I just thought I'd discuss this because I think in the last video I had the D850. Now I sold that, and the reason I sold it was because I actually made a profit on it. I got it at a very good price, and I was looking at the prices they go for on eBay, and so I ended up making a nice little profit off of that. I had I sold it 4 times, believe it or not. I had the first customer claimed there was a fault with it, and all it was a speck of dust. That's all it was, a speck of dust. Absolutely ridiculous. But rather than try and get rid of the dust, he decided there was a fault and sent it back. I had another one who won it and then wanted to come and pick it up and inspect it first. And eBay doesn't allow that. There was a time when you could have done that, but eBay will not allow you to do that anymore because they won't allow you to exchange unless you specifically put a pickup service on there, and then they will allow you to exchange details. So that one, and then the third time, the bloke decided he'd paid with the wrong card. Honestly, the performance I had, full time was lucky. He was happy with it and left me feedback. So we got there in the end. So what I kind of exchanged that with, and I will get this one out of the way, was this beast of a camera, the Nikon D4, and it is a beast of a camera. You know, and I've always wanted one of these flagship cameras, and I hadn't really thought about it, and then a few weeks ago I thought, well, what's the price of these going for? Now, this one's 58,000 clicks, which isn't a lot because I think they go for about 400,000, so that's nothing really. That's not bad. That's about what, 10%, 15%, something like that. Yeah, I absolutely love this camera. It's the nicest camera I've ever held in my life. It's heavy. It does weigh a ton, I've got to say, but it's just a beast. but it's beautiful. The handling of it is absolutely tremendous. And I took this out last week. We all went to Whipsnade, and do you know, I use this. I had it basically mainly been at the zoo in single point autofocus, and when I got back and looked at the shots, not only are they extremely sharp, but it didn't miss the focus once. It was really spot on every time. And I thought, well, I don't normally get that. I'll normally find some shots where the focus is missed. Now, this is when did this come out? 2012, I think. It's like a 12-year-old camera, and it was about £6,500. Six and a half. It was a lot of money when it came out. And, you know, in 12 years it's depreciated to, I picked this one up for 700, and you know, it's in perfect condition. I mean, I've had to add this viewfinder, and the cap here. I mean, none seem to have. Everybody seems to have lost those. You can get them fairly cheaply. And it's, you know, but it's in wonderful condition. There's no marks, scratches, dents, nothing on it. And I'd love it. And I can't see myself ever... I know I sell and buy it and sell because I've got a gas problem. But I don't think I'd ever sell this. I absolutely love it. I absolutely adore it. So is this still worth buying today? Absolutely. It produces, you know, and that's the thing. And I picked this one up here. This is the D300s. £90. Oh, sorry, that's a dog dreaming. 90 quid. And it's got 24,000 clicks on it. So even that's not particularly high. You know, it's still got plenty of life left in it. But 90 quid. I mean... And I remember I've had the D300s before. It's a fantastic little camera. It really is. Another 90 quid. Incredible. So are these worth... Look, if you're into video... And I think this is where... What I love about these is that... I don't know if this even has any video at all. I don't think it does, which is lovely. Because, as I've said before in a previous video, I do wish they still made... I mean, when these things come out, most of these cameras were for photography, not for video. And they've never been good video cameras. You know, the modern cameras are far superior for video. But all the modern cameras, I think, are all hybrid cameras. And that's what I don't like. I would rather them have still continued to make specific only... I guess photography is disappearing, as in stills, compared to video. Now online content and all the rest of it, everything is geared towards video. So all the cameras subsequently are coming out really geared towards video. Because I'll tell you for one thing that is, regardless of what, I don't care what anybody says, the images that these things produce are every bit as good as the images that you'll get out of the most modern cameras. As I said, I think image quality peaked a long time ago. I don't think you can improve on image quality. The only thing that's going to make your images look worse is you or a really bad lens. You know, I think whether you're talking about old F-mount, the top, like lenses like this, which are top end, or you are really not going to see the differences between a camera like the D4 or the Z9. You know, you're not. I'm sorry. I think image quality peaked a long time ago, and I don't think it's ever really improved because I don't think there was anything to improve. what's happened is the bells and whistles, the technology, the processing speeds, the video specs, etc., etc. But if you're just interested in stills, I don't think it matters whether you've got an old camera or a new one. You're not going to get better images just because you've got a newer. Obviously, focusing has changed, but they're still good in some of these. You know, the D4. I haven't tried it on continuous, but this was the flagship sports camera when it came out. You know, and journalists. So it was, you know, and that's a 16 megapixels. So it keeps the file small, and you can still crop. I cropped in on some of those images, and they look great. So you can still crop even with a 16 megapixel camera. So all this full, you know, I mean, that was the thing with the D850. Did I need 45? No, of course I didn't. I don't know, you know, and unless you're going to print on, you want billboard sized prints, then you don't need that. It's just ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. You don't need billboard sized prints. It's just madness. But yeah, so are these still viable options? Yes, I think they are very viable options. And you know, just listen to this. I you know, some people might not appreciate this, but I get it. Wait a minute. Let's. If I can make this sound. Hear that? I mean, that the shutter sound. It's beautiful. It's such a lovely sound. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day actually, and they said like they still use DSLRs, and they still use it at weddings, and they were saying nobody notices. That, you know, the fact that the shutter's a bit louder and you haven't got the silent shutter. He said nobody really notices. Everybody's concentrating on what's going on. They don't notice the sound. Nobody even looks around. So even all this, oh, well, you've got to be silent and all that, is sometimes. I've still got the Z6, by the way, and the Z50. So I'm not going completely backwards, you know. But when I look at the Z mount, you know, the Z8, the new Z6 III, you're looking at £3,000 onwards still. And I don't really want to be spending that kind of money on a body when I don't really need to, because I don't do video. If I did video, it would be a total different story. But I think if you're like me and you only do stills, then save your money, buy some decent lenses. Oh, that's the other thing, a new lens. Okay. Yeah, I haven't changed much in the way of lenses. I've added the Sigma 24 1.4 because I actually needed a wide angle lens the other week and I didn't have one. So I picked one of those up for $350. I mean, it's such a lovely sharp lens. So that was nice. And then earlier last week, I purchased this. The older 300mm f4. Again, I bought it in. There was a couple on sale in the UK. And it's got the integrated lens hood. It's in absolutely superb condition. It really is absolutely superb. I can't see any dust or nothing in it. And it's the 300, and it's made of metal. And it's got this if I can turn it. Oh no, that's it, you push it in, that's right. If you push that in, and it has the filter. It's incredibly wonderful images that come out of this lens, and obviously it's an old D, so this will work. This won't even work with the adapter on my Z6, but obviously it will work very nicely on either one of these cameras, which is partly why I bought the 300s, so I can put this on it, and on a crop sensor that's about what, 420mm, so I've got a nice sharp prime. Absolutely wonderful, so well constructed, so well made. I mean, this is just a beautiful, beautiful lens, and it does render wonderful images. And it cost me £200, and I bought it in Japan. There was a couple on the UK eBay, but they were actually quite expensive, and not in quite the same condition. This one was in absolutely superb nick, so it's a nice, highly recommend it. And of course you can just put it on these. So there you go, there's a little update on my new equipment, and I'm going to the races on Saturday, so I'll be dragging these along and see if I can get some decent racehorse pictures. That'd be nice. I haven't been to the horse racing for years, so I'm absolutely loving it. It's just revigorised my photography enthusiasm, and I'm actually thinking about getting a D3s, which is the one before this, because they're even cheaper, just to have another. I just love this shape and this type of body. They are heavy. I can understand why people wouldn't want one, but I absolutely love it. It's the most wonderful camera I've ever held, and for the prices they are now, they're built like tanks, and the prices they are now, then I don't think you can go wrong. As I say, if you're a video shooter, then you need the more modern gear, but if you're just a still shooter, I really would consider the older gear, because you're still going to get fantastic images. Nothing wrong with having a newer camera as well. Maybe get a Z7, something that's maybe just a little bit older, but still the more modern technology. But maybe just don't waste your money on the latest and greatest, because you probably aren't going to need most of what's in it, and it won't get you better images. Anyway, I'm glad to be back. I hope everyone is well, and hopefully the next one won't be so far. I'll try and do another video that won't take months, but as I say, I did go off the photography, so I didn't really have much to say on it. So there you go, I'm back again. I don't know when I'll do the next video. I'll see what content I can think of to. There's no point just doing it for the sake of it. Anyway, till the next one.